Do you know that most of people don't ruin their lives with one big mistake? They ruin it with a sentence. I can't. I'm tired. I'll start tomorrow. Those aren't facts. They're exits. And every time you say them, you walk out on your own potential. Let's be honest. Negativity doesn't feel dramatic. It feels reasonable. It sounds like logic. It dresses like caution and it whispers, be realistic. But what it's really saying is stay small, stay safe. Don't risk to be exposed. For students, it's brutal. You fail one exam, and suddenly mind says, maybe I'm just not smart enough. You see someone else succeed, and your brain translates it into, I'm behind. You open your book, and before you even read the first page, you're already defeated. Let me tell you a psychological truth. Your brain is wired to detect threat, not opportunity. And growth feels like a threat to brain. So, new material, threat. Public speaking, threat. Trying again after failure, threat. You see, your brain creates a shield, negativity, because if you expect the worst, you won't be surprised by it. But protection at that level becomes a prison. Look at J.K. Rowling. Before Harry Potter became a global, when there's any phenomenon, she was rejected multiple times, broke, depressed, unknown. If she had interpreted rejection as identity, we would have never heard her name. She once said that rock bottom became the solid foundation on which she rebuilt her life. That's not blind positivity, that's reframing. And reframing is power. Okay, think about a student who fails math 3 times. One version of that student says, this subject hates me. Another one says, I haven't mastered it yet. Same person, different interpretation, different future. Negativity is not about circumstances. It's about conclusions. You are drawing conclusions too fast. You get tired and conclude you're weak. You struggle and conclude you're incapable. You hesitate and conclude you're not built for it. Slow down. Struggle is not a verdict. It's a phase. Let's just be brutally honest. Some of you don't want to let go of negativity because it gives you an excuse. If you convince yourself that you can't, you don't have to try fully. If you say you're not ready, you don't have to risk failing publicly. Negativity protects your ego, but it downs your growth. And comfort has never built anything extraordinary. Now breathe for a second. If you've been negative for years, if that inner voice sounds like a critic that never rests, not because you're broken, it's because you've repeated certain thoughts so many times they became automatic. Repetition creates identity. So change the repetition, and not with fake affirmations, with action. When your mind says, skip it, you show up. When it says you're behind, you study anyway. When it says like you're not ready, you submit the application anyway. Action is the loudest argument against negativity. Not emotion, some action. Athletes don't wait to feel confident before they train. They train until confidence becomes a side effect. Students don't suddenly feel motivated. They build momentum through movement, and momentum suffocates doubt. Here's the shift. You don't eliminate negative thoughts forever. You outgrow them. You build a version of yourself that no longer listens blindly. You start questioning your own excuses. Is this fatigue or avoidance? Is this reality or fear talking? Once you start asking better questions, negativity loses its authority. It becomes noise and you become disciplined. So kick negativity out, not by fighting it emotionally, but by refusing to obey it. Because at the end of the day, and you decide which suggestions become your life.